back for Bo.
He's a rookie. He's also half Puerto Rican. I don't know if y'all.
You already know what time it is.
Someone like Hayden Hurst is coming out and being like, look, you're not alone. On our show too, as well, we're all about mental health and awareness.
Yes.
Off and on the field.
Hello. Welcome, everyone, to this Thursday night here on the internet at the Ladies Takeover Show. We're going to get started here. As we know, we're the Ladies Takeover. My name is Nicole, and who do we have here? Beside me is...
I am Kate, the creator of the Ladies Takeover, Elverson, and I am still in the game, not on the couch, cheering on my Lions to roar into the bay to defeat some 49ers.
Nice. Yes, that's what I want to hear. And below me here, who do we have as well?
Hey, Delilah here. You know me for Diversity with Delilah segments, also from the Roundtable on Tuesdays. And as you can see, our main co-host isn't here tonight. Janae's stuck at work. You know how that happens. But she did send us her drama topics.
Yes, as you can see, we are missing Miss Janae. We hope you are well, and we are going to carry on the baton into this crazy 24 season playoffs. And we got a lot to talk about because it's been a week, ladies and gentlemen. But also, too, if you're joining in, say hi, welcome, and share and enjoy the conversation of what we have. It's going to be a lot different, and it's going to be fun. And yeah, we can do this. We got this. So first off, we are going to talk about the usual section. And Janae, like Delilah said, she sent in her drama segment. So we are going to get started with the drama in the NFL, as we always do. So this is... Janae has said, we got to talk about this Jim Harbaugh. He's leaving Michigan, Kate, and will be the new head coach of the Chargers. How and what, where, when did this happen? And we're going to be discussing. And Kate, I got to go to you first. What do you think of this?
I cried quite a bit last night. I don't know if I've ever shared this on this show, but Harbaugh is the reason I fell in love with Michigan as a little girl, watching football with my dad. I'm going to try not to cry doing this because that's how much he means to me. He is my first football love. And it happened last night, and it happened with some controversy because the regents and the athletic director decided last minute to allow this clause that granted him immunity since he already served 6-game suspension over the last season. So he thought he had paid his dues for all the controversy, all the hiccups, everything that had happened. So he's like, if they try to come at me again for something, which they have nothing to go for me on, grant me immunity. But that didn't happen. So amidst waiting to see if he could come back to Michigan, he decided to sign his contract with the Chargers. and returned to the NFL. So it's very bittersweet. I know he flirts with the NFL, but he's never been this serious. But I think it's because of all that happened over the last season at Michigan that he decided to go to the NFL after all. Anyway, it's bittersweet. Yes, he's going to the Chargers. I got into some controversy this morning as well, some side drama, because I mean, anyone in the LTF family will know I've never been a Herbert supporter. Never. I've never thought he was that great of a quarterback. People have said, oh, he's top 5. He's top 5. I was like, prove to me he's top 5. He's not made a deep run in the playoffs. He's not made it to a Super Bowl. He's not done the things that elite quarterbacks do. So I was like, oh, it's let's get rid of him, Harbaugh, and let's see what you can do. But he is a quarterback's coach. He can coach any quarterback he's ever done. He did it with Andrew Luck at Stanford. He did it with Colin Kaepernick at the 49ers. So maybe there's a miracle that he will get Mr. Herbert where he needs to be in the NFL. I know he's got a very diverse young team there. So we'll see what happens. Anyway.
Absolutely. He didn't they just have a great season of almost a perfect score?
They were undefeated 15-0 and we won the national championship. So
see now why he was on the sidelines at the visiting his brother at that game now. And I feel for you. Delilah, what do you got to take about this?
Hey, I think the Chargers have a good one. He used to play for the Chargers, not just for the Bears, which is kind of why we're sad we didn't get him. So, you know, he played for the Bears, played for the Chargers. I think it's kind of nice that he's going back to coach a team he used to play on. He also played for Michigan, by the way, and also coached there and led them to success. So I think the Chargers are wanting that good luck to repeat. You know, so I feel like they want that to repeat with Jim over here and trying to do the same thing where he led, you know, Michigan to a natty. So I'm assuming that's kind of what they want going over here.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's the carousel is going around of this head coaches, right? So, you know, I think we're talking about even Belichick, you know, someone was yapping saying that they might get it for the Atlanta Falcons. But here we sitting with Mr. Billy Check is still to be taken. And there's a lot, not as much teams at the table anymore. This is quite insane, I think, since he's a very well-seasoned person. I'm gonna go to you, Kate. Thoughts on Mr. Belichick?
I think that he needs to take time off and just either be an analyst for now or just take a break and just enjoy a little time to himself. He's been coaching a long time. I know his age has played a factor in his hiring. I know one of the things that Atlanta wanted was a younger coach. That was why they were hoping to get a second interview with Harbaugh. He's 10 years younger than Belichick. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I know they were talking on ESPN radio because the nerd of sports I am, that's what I listen to on the way to work. They even said that maybe he should take a gap year and maybe really try to decide if it is coaching he wants to do some guest analyst positions and do some other things. Maybe be a consultant for a team, help them draft, do things like that, work war rooms for draft teams and do things off the field. But just I'm excited for Atlanta with Raheem Morris. I think it'll be good for them. They have a very youthful team. So, but Bill needs to take a year. I think he needs to take time off. I think he needs to be done coaching for now. he had a rough end to his career in New England. So it's time for Bill to just set off to the sunset for a little bit. Let these younger coaches come in, shake these teams up, reform them, and I think definitely he needs to retire. To be honest, but take some time off to really decide what he wants.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just learned about him last season a little bit, so this is kind of a little too late with me coming in, learning about
You're fine.
all of his seasons and stuff. So, it does seem like a golden era of with the Patriots and stuff, and his resume. I don't think it's going to top with a lot of these coaches. It's going to take quite a dynasty to do that. And I mean, Delilah, what do you have to think about this?
Yeah, I think I agree with Kate. I was paying attention to Atlanta, kind of what they were looking. And you have to interview someone like Bill Belichick. So I understand why they did the 2 interviews. They really wanted Jim. It's obvious that that's kind of what they wanted. And I think that's why so many of us thought it'll be Bill, right? I feel like a lot of people really were betting on Bill Belichick being the new head coach for Atlanta. However, everything I hear about Raheem Morris are good things. Like, he is a leader. I know the players on the Rams really respect him. He did good things on the Rams defense. People forget that part. So, and I feel like this is a good place. I think that Atlanta did make the right decision with what was left on the field. I think it made sense. I don't know if Bill does have a gap year left in him. But yeah, maybe he should sail into the sunset, and just anyone would hire him to be at least a consultant on a team. You know what I mean? I feel like he could do that. He doesn't have to go talk on ESPN or any other sports shows, but he could be a consultant somewhere. We'll see. There's like 2 teams left looking for head coaches: the Commanders and Seattle. Well, as far as I know, the last 2 vacancies left. So we'll see what happens.
Seattle could be a sleeping giant, 12th man, 12th person. I don't know. I just wanted to take also too, some people are chiming in here online with hey Johnny, Bill won't get shoeless win title now. How many wins are away from the record is Bill? That is a good question. Oh my goodness, we're definitely, if Tampa were hiring a head coach, oh boy, that is very true. Everyone's looking for the NFC, all over the football.
It is very true.
That's true.
He served as the general manager for New England and wore many hats. And after Tom Brady decided he was moving on, it was going to be tough pickings and everything for Bill. So
it'll be weird, interesting to see him transition, if any. I don't know if he's had so much of his career with all of these reporters and stuff. Might have some history going way back into the early seasons for him. I don't know.
He might want to take a page from Saban, who he coached with at the Browns, and maybe the 2 of them at their age can just retire together
and hang out on the couch.
New podcast. Yes. Awesome.
Oh
okay.
Yeah. Podcast. like the old fogies, just something funny playing on their age, like
the Golden Years podcast, like the Mannings.
Something, that'd be funny.
That would be. Oh my God! Can you picture those 2 old fuddy duddies sitting on a couch, drinking tea or something?
That would be funny.
All right, so we got some more drama here in this hearsay from what Janae says. So we got some Dallas, Houston. We might no, not Houston. Dallas Cowboys. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys is having some drama, and I don't like it, but we're going to talk about it. And that's right. So Janae says that there's some Dallas family drama with Dak, Ceedee, and Micah. And they're quite a family, and we have a lot to say, yeah. So CeeDee's mom saying Dak isn't it. That's what she said. Mike's brother saying Dak needs to take a team-friendly deal or leave. And then, yeah, Dak's brother saying he wants him to leave to the team. Fans don't respect Dak. Well, you know what? There's a lot to say here. I mean, I saw Dak after the game. He looked defeated going into that tunnel. I remember. I saw that as a walkout, like when you're coming out of, going to the club when you were young and having that walkout of the next day.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of shape of walk. So, I mean, there's a lot going down.
You're saying Dak was on a walk of shame.
I mean, I saw that tunnel walk. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I saw that there was a little bit going on there, and there has been some talk and some rumors with the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot of fans having their eye on him. He's been with them, a little bit behind Romo. Let's not forget him, and followed into that. So, do we give him another year to season out? Or is he out of it? What do you think, Delilah? I'm going to go to this one for you.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. That doesn't make any sense. Just honestly, in realistic sense, whatever people's ideas are about Dak, it doesn't make sense to me to not let him at least finish his contract. I think he's on his last year. Also, a lot of these guys are on their last years. He's 30 years old. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I feel, and I was talking about this before the show. Dak is a good quarterback. Take him or leave him. To me, I don't think he's had the right coaches. I'll be honest. I don't think coaches play to his strong suit and would make him do things that maybe he wasn't well suited. And I feel like they could have made him a better game manager. And there's nothing wrong with being a game manager. Game managers win Super Bowls. We've seen it. So I think that's really was a problem. I also just felt like the plays that McCarthy does are awful. I don't think the plays he calls make sense for the Dallas offense. I think he still has a job because he's just finishing out his contract. I know we're going back to the coaches, but Dallas is not renewing it. They're just letting him finish out the season. He hasn't been offered an extension. And so I feel like that's really what it is, more so than just Dak, But when there's family drama, like you said, you got CeeDee's family coming in, and you got Micah saying, oh, maybe you should leave. And then Dak's brother going, well, if the Dallas fans are, that creates problems. Now, that's where the tension comes from more than anything. I feel that if Dak is traded or leaves, it has to do more with this. Because when there's contention amongst a team and a team doesn't want to follow you, that's the problem. That's where the team isn't gelling anymore. And that's where I can see the issue of why maybe Dak won't be around. Not because Dallas doesn't need him, but because if your team is not coalescing around you, that could create some problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't us Saints know that? Yeah. I'm going to be in the same boat here pretty much, Janae. Absolutely, yeah. And CeeDee Lamb, he still has quite a lot to say. I mean, he just got there as one of their new rookies, and he's been producing and putting out, That's another Kirk cut. That was good. Hey, he could get over this hump. I did see he was right behind there in some of the Purdy stats for some of them, at least in the top 10. So he's still a contender for the MVP as well. So I don't know, Kate, what do you have to say?
I agree with a lot of the comments of Dak can't get over the playoff hump. If you've ever seen the meme of the reel for Dallas, it's like season begins, they start winning, they get excited, the playoffs come, oh, they joke. And I don't think Dak is it. I don't. I really don't. And I don't mean to be mean. I don't mean to be like, I just think it's time to look at moving on from him. He's kind of like, hasn't proven himself. I don't even know if a new coach would help. Look at Russell Wilson, went to a different organization, thought that Sean Payton couldn't even coach Russell Wilson. But anyway, I think it's maybe time to move on a little bit. But I know they're paying him a mighty bag. But that mighty bag is, what is it doing for them? I mean, maybe let McCarthy have his last year with him and see if a new coach. But if that new coach can't get him cooking within a year, because I guarantee you Jim Harbaugh is going to get Herbert cooking within a year and they'll get in the playoffs and make maybe a run, because I know how Harbaugh is. If they can't get a quarterback's coach in there to get him cooking, to get them past that playoff hump, they will only give him 1 year post McCarthy and they'll move on from him. Because why pay a man that much money if you cannot win Super Bowls and you cannot win playoff games and you can't make it to, they haven't been in the Super Bowl since I was like in high school and around there. It's been a long time. And those Dallas fans are getting mighty impatient. I mean, there's some memes that have moved them as America's team, and now the Lions are the America's team. So, I mean, at some point, you got to say, how much more of this are we going to endure? And how much more of this are we going to take? So, I think they give them 1 year with a coach that's not McCarthy. And if they're not doing something, they'll be moving him on. Because they're paying so much money. Too much money.
Well, there's a lot of comments going on here with the Dallas Cowboys. Let me tell you, if there's anything, we got some remarks. That's for sure. I mean, who is their owner? Johnny? No.
Jerry Jones. The answer is Jerry Jones.
So it might be a trickling river of that. Is it coming down?
He
need to have fun with his team again.
You are right.
We need to get Dolly Parton in there.
He's very stubborn.
You are right, Nicole. You're making a good observation. He controls everything.
I saw someone say it in the comments there. So many that you guys are hitting them up with the laughs. I see there with America's team. So we got some more drama still. That is not over until it's done. So we got some good dramas, if anything, about the new coaches in the NFL are becoming more diverse. That's right. Yes, the NFL is moving in the right direction. You're right, Janae. So, we've seen it with all of the coaches in the carousel with, who did we have? Morris, Todd Bowles, specifically as we were talking with Delilah about in the head position of the head coach, it is more of an important role, and we're seeing more diverse coaches there in that. So I'm quite excited about it, and it just means, we got so many. What do we got here, Kate?
Technically we'll have 6 African American coaches starting the 2024-25 season in the NFL, and it's been a long time since, or it's not been ever, that we've seen that in the NFL, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really excited for it. I mean, we've had Mike Tomlin, we've had Todd Bowles, We have D'Amico Ryan. Now we have Raheem
Morris,
in Atlanta.
Antonio Pierce.
Yep, Antonio Pierce up in New England. I mean, it's just beautiful to see this.
Raiders,
because it's something we've talked about on our shows for years now. Is about, there was the Rooney Rule, and we had the whole controversy with that in Miami, and who got the job and who didn't get the job. But I just think it's really great. It's been needed. It's going to be a very good look for the NFL, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how some of these coaches do, and I'm very excited that they took the interim position away from the coach in the Raiders and made him the permanent coach. So that was necessary. He came and started doing a really good job. And the players were saying, if they don't make him the coach, I want to be traded. So I'm excited. I think it's great. It's a new day. It's a new dawn in the NFL. Things are moving finally in a positive direction with diversity. And I couldn't be more happy for these coaches to get this opportunity and these teams to take their chances with them. It's like a new era. It's a fresh breath of fresh air. I really like it.
Yes, and they're performing well. They're in the playoffs still for some of their teams that they're in. I mean, sorry, Bucks. They were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Sitting on the side, and their performance, it is honestly something that it shouldn't be like sneezed about, because they're gonna, we're gonna have some Super Bowl contenders here. That's for sure. Oh, Delilah, what do you think?
It's quite all right. I like listening to you both share your opinions as well, right? No, I think it's great. So we would have at the moment, and I know there's 32 teams, but still, when the 2024 season, the regular season commences, there'll be 6 Black head coaches, 1 Mexican American. He's the only Hispanic head coach, which was just hired by the Panthers, Dave Canales. And we also have Mr. McDaniel down in Miami Dolphins, who's biracial, right? And so I agree with Janae and why she wanted to share this, that we're making some progress. I know it's slogging along, but still, it's good progress. And so that's why she wants to make sure that we cover some good drama, right? It's not really drama. It's a good thing. And so, yeah, and the 3, as we were saying, 3 Black head coaches were just hired, 2 promoted, really, So yes. I think it's great. D'Amico Ryan for the Patriots, Antonio Pierce for the Raiders. I mean, some players for the Raiders were saying, I'm going to leave if you don't make him the head coach. That's how much they believe in Antonio Pierce. That players were saying, if you do not make him the head coach, trade me. Like, that says a lot about you as a leader of a team when your players are saying, yeah, I'm going somewhere else if you don't promote this man, So kudos. Thank you, Janae, for bringing this topic. It's a good thing.
Yes. And that covers quite a bit of what we got here for Janae sent in for the drama segment. So, I love hearing what you guys have to say down in the comments. And honestly, I think this is going to be some good drama. And we'll see you next week for the drama section, because we're going to come up with another section here in our ladies show, which is the divisional round recap. Divisional round recap, remix. Okay. All right. So we're going to do something, a little bit of a remix on this divisional round. Okay. So what we're going to do is, in reviewing this recap, we are going to make it a little bit more exciting for you viewers at home, wherever you are moving about in this beautiful world. We are going to be looking at and going through the best plays and exciting moments of the games. All right. So we're just going to probably go around and do a round table of the best and worst plays. Right now, we're going to do the Ravens versus the Texans. So I got some notes here because this was insane. But one of my favorite recaps was John Harbaugh's little shuffle there in the locker room after the game, trying to be doing a little Sean Payton and doing a little bit of a victory dance, because you never really get to see coaches do a little victory dance. And that was my non-play favorite play of the game, that one. So that's what I got. You guys tell us, comment on your best and worst plays of the Ravens and Texans. But I'm going to go to the Kate.
My favorite plays of the Ravens is I just absolutely love how Lamar or Burrows. I absolutely love how Lamar Jackson is sealing his deal to be the MVP. He had some amazing run plays. That man rushed for 100 yards in that game. 100 yards. He didn't just throw for the yards that he threw. He ran for 100.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson got in that end zone, and he sealed the deal against the Texans, the young and up-and-coming Texans. When I watch him play, he is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks just for the fact that he can move in the pocket, he can find the seam in the hole, and he can run, and he can make nothing into something. So my favorite plays were pretty much all based on Lamar because the man is the MVP. I mean, you can't doubt what he's done. There was all the controversy of whether or not they'd get the deal done to make him the quarterback again in Baltimore, but man, it's sure fun. And then he can find a receiver whenever he needs to and hit like OBJ, and it's just beautiful what's going on in Baltimore. I'm really digging it. The Harbaughs can get funky and get down. Even Jim can get funky and get down. Wait till the two are probably battling in the middle at the 50, having a dance off.
Yay.
Jim can get Jim's got moves too. But anyway, if we're just talking best plays, I do love that the Texans tried to give them a fight at first, and I do appreciate that. I mean, poor CJ Stroud hasn't seen a defense like that all season long. So, yeah, he saw Mike McDonald is their defensive coordinator. He took a year off from there to come coach at Michigan and went back to John. John basically lent him to Jim, and then Jim let him go back. So he's one of the best defensive coordinators. So I felt bad that the Texans and CJ have not seen such a tenacious defense. He's an amazing coordinator. So, yeah, it was rough for the Texans that was the first, I think, CJ Stroud has ever seen that pressure and seen that tenacity and everything all season. So, yeah, overall, but yeah, Lamar stole my heart that game. I've been on a very big CJ Stroud and Nico Collins and everything else, but yeah, I hope. I know it doesn't mean a thing if he doesn't get the ring, but Rodgers did get some rings and still won an MVP.
There we go.
So.
If you like him, you got to put a ring on it, right?
Yeah. Tell that to some of the guys I dated, Nicole.
I love it.
Yes. Beyonce. All right. And yeah, Delilah, what are you thinking about the game thoughts of your best and worst? Oh, the worst plays too as well. Oh boy.
Well, honorable mention to the kid who on the special teams, who got his first touchdown, the only touchdown of the game, which wasn't even an offensive touchdown. And so kudos to that kid getting that touchdown. Steven Sims, punt return, 67 yards. So kudos to you on the Texans side. Now, best is Ravens defense. For me, in this game, completely dominated, shut down their rushing for Houston, shut down their passing game, like just shut them down completely and kept them to 10 points. Okay, so that is to me, in general, the best plays were created by the Ravens defense. I mean, that was just incredible, just completely just stopped everything. And that's where I'm going to go to the worst plays. See, the worst plays are that the Texans didn't rush more. Actually, I think that actually hurt them. They rushed for 38 yards that whole game. That's it. 38 yards rushing the whole game. And I think that really hurt them. I'm surprised they didn't use Singletary more. He only had 22 yards rushing. That's like their best RB. They're their number one RB. And that's what killed Houston, in my opinion, because, CJ was getting his passes off because that's what he does. So he was getting some beautiful passes. None of them, sadly, got TDs. But I think for Houston, the fact that they didn't have a good run play going is what ultimately led to them being completely destroyed by the Ravens.
It's a tough game, and it all comes down to that one game. So I think, the worst play, I think, there was kind of a lot, but I couldn't really pick an overall one except for gotta hand it to CJ Stroud. He came a long way. That's for sure. All right. So next game that we're going to be talking about and getting your guys' opinion as well as ours on is San Francisco, Where's Your Disco versus Packers. There you go, Andy. Yes.
I love that. Sean, in answer to your previous, he only had 9. The whole game. 9 carries. 4 quarters, 9 carries. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's all Sean's question. But go ahead. Say it again. Everybody loves your saying. I think that should be your little catchphrase.
San Francisco, where is your disco? Not here. I guess they are here. They are here for it, and they're here to stay because guess what? They did win. Spoiler alert. But the worst, the best play. Oh, Kittle. Yes. It was a long run for Kittle, and I was just happy that he got to start it off with that beautiful, beautiful play and that touchdown. And there was someone saying, Kittles are boring. They are not boring. They are more than exciting. Thank you very much. And you saw that with the touchdown and more touchdowns and more touches. So that was one of my favorite plays of the game. And then also to CMC. Oh, that's a tough one. You know what I mean? They're both really great. Pacheco, there's so many. No, Pacheco's on the other guy's team. Sorry. Scratch that.
It's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. No worries.
What Kate, what do you got?
All I know is I saw a lot of vulnerability that looks good for my Detroit Lions. I didn't think they played an overall dominating performance. It was only 24-21 was the final score. True. So I think that it was nice that the Packers held their own throughout that game. And I thought Jordan Love showed a lot of composure. I was shocked. I think maybe not my worst plays, but my shock was how very little they rushed Jordan Love. I expected to see more of Nick Bosa and Chase Young putting pressure on Jordan Love, but he didn't get the pressure that I thought he was going to get. So I think that proved to me that our offensive line can handle those two boys very well. Chase Young thought he was going to get Tom Brady back when he played for the Commanders and never did. So I don't know if this Chase Young dude can actually get a quarterback. So anyway, I love watching how Christian McCaffrey or CMC can definitely make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, you're like, oh, he's not going to get through there. And sure enough, that man powers through the tiniest little bit of space and the tiniest little bit of holes. And next thing you know, he's off for like a 20-yard run. So Christian McCaffrey is definitely a lethal weapon for them. It's questionable whether or not they'll have Deebo Samuels this week. So he just lightly practiced for the first time today. But I gotta say, I love it when I see my Michigan boy out there, Mr. Jake Moody, kicking field goals and point after touchdowns, and because he's special to my heart. So, but I think that they got to get a lot more creative if they're going to beat the Lions, because the Lions are cooking on all cylinders right now. But we'll talk about that later. But I give Jordan Love a lot of kudos this season.
Yes.
The man has proven very much so that he can lead that team deep into the playoffs and lead them deep. I think once LaFleur has one more season with him to really get the wheels going more and more and more, and they draft some needed pieces. Hopefully they have a very smart draft for him, and I think Green Bay's going to look dangerous in the NFC North, though. But kudos to the Packers. They did things that people thought they couldn't do. I have never seen LaFleur look more happy with a quarterback. If you notice their relationship versus his relationship with Rodgers, it's so much different. He looks stressed out, and you can tell like Rodgers kind of ran that offense a little bit and kind of was like, we're doing it my way. And now there's a very cohesive, very good relationship between LaFleur and Love. So we'll see what the future brings. But I thought I was shocked at how much they contained Aaron Jones's run game, because I thought he would have more running and everything else. So yeah, it'll be. I was shocked by that. I thought Aaron Jones would be a more explosive piece to maybe hopefully defeating the 49ers. But yeah, those are my takes.
Even with, Janae was saying about, Mr. Rogers being gone, and you're right, maybe he was the problem that carried that team. But, Love can do it. You've seen it, and he's got, I think, the people on his side for the fans, and those cheeseheads are looking at him like 100%. A good piece of Gouda. That's my take on it. He is a good piece of Gouda, I would say. Anyway, I'm not a cheesehead. I am a little bit, but not like that. Anyways, yeah, that was some pretty good playoff action, and Packers have been eliminated. So we got another one here. All you need is love. You're right. Love is all you need. One.
Oh man, that was good. I love it. No, but I agree. I've said this before. I think what hurt Love, and I think he played a stellar game, was he also had 2 interceptions. But what's telling is that 49ers didn't turn those into points. So that's the part that I'm like, oh, you had 2 interceptions. Y'all didn't convert that to points. That's what hurt the 49ers. That's what got, I'm surprised 49ers put more points. And my favorite play, I agree with you, Nicole, was Kittle. I think I like George Kittle. I think he's a really great tight end. So I'm glad that he got that touchdown. I agree with you. That was the best play. But kudos to Green Bay putting up a fight, and that's coming from a Bears fan.
Instead of riddle me this, it'd be kittle me this. gonna be that. I don't know. Should be the Joker of Batman for Halloween.
Yes.
Giving you ideas, Mr. Kittle. All right. So next game we have a Honolulu Blue, from what I hear, versus the Off-Frontier Pirateers of the Buccaneers. And here they come forth, hence here, there they was, there they were, the Lions persevere. So there was a lot of good favorite kind of plays
I love you.
and worst plays in the game. Detroit ceiling. I wrote down here a word. Melifon Wu ended up for the breaking it in there and giving him a good big hello hi Baker Mayfield tackle. That was one of my favorite ones of the play, is seeing him getting a little tackled, and I was cheering for the NFC, but I do like to see him getting tackled a little bit. So that was my favorite play of the game. I'm sorry, Buccaneers. The Lions persevered, and I'm going to take it down, and we're going to go the opposite way, down over to Delilah. What were your takeaways from the game?
Yeah, I think golf. Honestly, for me, it's golf. I agree with a lot of people who I felt like golf was sent to Detroit to die. When I say that, I mean like, go away. Play there. You're gonna be awful, and then you have to retire. I feel like they sent him away, and he was meant to not actually be good. He had 2 touchdowns, 287 yards, no interceptions, and so I thought that was, pretty great. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I like that they have him running and it's not all David Montgomery. So I think that that's smart for the Lions, getting Gibbs more. Amon-Ra, the sun god, as we like to call him, that, good, but also for the Bucs. I know that Baker Mayfield messed up a little bit, but you know what? He had a good game too. I know the turnovers. He recognized that last turnover as soon as it left his hand, and he was like, you could see in his face. I honestly felt really bad when he fell down to his knees and was like, ugh, because he knew the game was over. And so obviously that really was what sealed the win for Detroit, was that last pick. But Buccaneers, to me, you have your quarterback. I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't, I think that Baker has really proved himself. And so, kudos to him doing a good job there too.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel for them a little bit. But Baker Mayfield did a really good job for even the coordinators that were coaching them up until that point. I do believe, and I think that's a little bit of a buzz in the NFC, is a little bit of the coach move around. And Kate, what do you have to say, ma'am? I think you got some good things here.
All I gotta say is, I would tweet stuff and then it would happen. If you want to see how Madman Kate works on Lions game day, follow me on Twitter. I was like, Laporta needs to get involved. We need to start getting into Laporta. The next 3 plays, it went to Laporta. If Sam Laporta is one of the most underrated rookies in this league right now, I know a lot of attention's been put on C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson for his defensive play and whatnot. But we have 2 rookies right now up for Offensive Rookie of the Year in Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. So they have been dynamite. And can I just say what a wizard Brad Holmes is as a GM and how he drafted them? And he took them and people were like, well, what is he doing? What? I don't understand this. And it's been brilliant in getting Brian Branch and getting all these rookie pieces that he's gotten this year has been phenomenal for our team. And Aaron Glenn coached a damn good, excuse my language, defensive game that game. He really did an amazing job. And Hutchison, his spin move to get to the quarterbacks and put on pressure and get in on those tackles on their running back and slowing down Rashad White was phenomenal. And then Penny Sewell taking on some of their big defenders to not get Jared Goff pressured very much. The offensive line did a phenomenal job giving Goff a lot of time in the pocket. And it was just beautiful to see all the moving pieces. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He does not get enough credit for what a strong and just gritty quarterback or receiver he is. We have this term right now that it's all grit. This team is grit. Dan Campbell is about everything grit. Ben Johnson, heck of an offensive coordinator, called a beautiful game. I mean, I can't speak enough to how good that of an offensive coordinator he really is. I mean, right now they say that he's probably going to be the Commanders' next coach. Sean, you get a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man if you do get him. But Dan Campbell is really the nucleus of why this team is doing as well as he is. Who's calling me sweetie? Ew. Anyway, the fact remains is, yes, the Lions haven't done this in a long time, but the Lions are doing things that most analysts, most people have said they'll never do. And that is get to where they are in the NFC playoff. They're 2 games away from a Super Bowl win. That's the one thing that Dan Campbell has stressed is 2 more. And I think they can beat the 49ers. I do. I definitely think they can go into the Bay. We travel well as fans. We break decibel levels at Ford Field. We are just cooking on all cylinders, and I just love what this team is doing. The defensive line has been brilliant. Everything's been great. So, yeah. But I love me some Sam Laporta when he and Goff get cooking. But you guys, I really badly want a Goff jersey, and they're all sold out.
Oh.
You can get every other player on our team, but it's hard to get a Goff jersey because you would think Aiden Hutchison, being from Michigan, would be my boy, but it's Jared.
I like that.
So I love Jared Goff. I love that we don't have Matthew Stafford anymore, and I love that we're probably going to win a Super Bowl with him.
Well, to apologize to Alex and you for cheering for the Bucks before that game happened, I got my dog a little Lions mane for the next game coming in the mail. To cheer on the Detroit Lions. And we're giving some spoilers into our next section.
Can I just say, Mr. Anthony, I would go to Jared all day long.
All right. Okay, so we got finally the last game we're going to cover. The Bills and the Chiefs. That's right. Mr. Jason Kelsey's brother's team, now as it's known, of the sign. They overcame those Bills, and the Bills Mafia were out. And it was a really good game. I thought it was really awesome. What do I have here in my notes for them? Jason Kelsey cheering his bro on. That was huge aspect of the game, but I don't want to take that away because Pacheco, that was my other note, was seeing this guy who I was watching before last year and him still playing on top with Mahomes was kind of my overall arching favorite. There's so many to pick from with those beautiful hands. Catching that, so it was really great. I enjoyed the game. I think I had a lot of fun during that time that it was playing. I was pausing. They were hitting, going back and forth. and the weather too as well. I could still see that snow there, of them carving it away to see the play clock for the QB to know his timing. So that was quite interesting. And the play calls, the penalties, the calls, that was interesting too. That was great. And the kick. Kate, what do you think?
I really wanted the Bills to win this game because I really wanted Josh Allen to really prove that he can get far in playoffs and go to the AFC Championship again and hopefully prove himself a little more. And it's unfortunate that their kicker didn't get that field goal to tie the game and send it into overtime, especially since there's the new rules and we all know about the kerfuffle of the last overtime between the Chiefs and the Bills. And my thing was, I said years ago when the Buccaneers won that one Super Bowl, you get the tight end and you get the quarterback cooking, like you get Brady and Gronk cooking, you get Mahomes and Kelsey cooking. There's no way the Chiefs can lose. Those two are just in sync and in like perfect unison, and they do such a good job. And I just was very impressed at the fact that they did win, but I gotta say the Chiefs outplayed the Bills, but the Bills put up a good fight, and I guess we'll see the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, which are the two probably most dominant teams in the AFC. So it worked out perfect.
I mean, just seeing that last kick of him, we can do it.
I just feel bad because that poor young man has had to delete all his social media, and he's gotten death threats, and he's gotten all this really negative feedback from the Bills Mafia. The Bills Mafia can be brutal when it comes to things like that. So the poor young man, I feel for him. I don't like that fans get to that extreme. I'd like to see one of them get out of their lazy boys, put down their Bud Light, and try to kick a field goal in the NFL.
Yes.
But seriously though, my heart goes out to that Bills kicker because it's a crapshoot. It's either going in or not going in, but you don't threaten the poor boy.
Yes, absolutely. We do not condone that on our show at all.
No.
Absolutely not cool. Delilah, what do you got? What do you think of the game?
Yeah, to me, the worst plays were the fact that Stefon Diggs couldn't catch. I mean, Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs usually in sync. There's two players that play really well and are in unison. But he had dropped passes. He had passes go right, literally at him, that he didn't catch. And to me, that was the difference. Honestly, to me, that's really what cost Bills the game, is that for some reason, Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs could not connect in that game the way they normally and typically do. Whereas Stefon Diggs, laughs and drinks water out of the sideline. I don't know if you guys saw, him do that previously in the wild card game. And so usually they're in sync, and that game they weren't. I think that was honestly what cost Bills. And I think that was, to me, those were the worst plays, were those missed opportunities by Stefon Diggs. That, to me, was what caused them to lose, not the kicker. On the opposite side, I also am an Isaiah Pacheco fan. He's half Puerto Rican. I don't know if people know that, but he's half Puerto Rican. That's why his last name is Pacheco. So anytime he's having a great game, I thought he was dominant in the wild card game through the snow. He didn't feel that snow. At least it didn't look like it. And then last game, again, rushing touchdown. I am a very big fan of Isaiah Pacheco as well, Nicole. So I thought that was a really great play. Kelsey always gets the flash. I understand, right? He's Travis Kelsey. But I thought Isaiah Pacheco had a great game. So
all I want to say is I loved the grill that he was wearing. Did you notice the grill He roared because he did a play and then he smiled. I was like, he's really cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to take
Yeah,
this
I did.
rewind.
Delilah, I was noticing that I was disappointed in Diggs not catching for Allen either. That was disappointing.
Well, you guys heard it here. You know, there's always a next year, and we are quite happy to now see who we have remaining in this festive fight to the top. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take you guys on a journey in the future of next week and what we got written for the script of what we think's going to happen. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We are. We're going to take you on a journey through time. So we got here some conference championships, and we're going to give you the predictions, the script to the games of the AFC.
I forget you always get the script. You said that last year.
Absolutely. You know, we got some people in the mix here, some different characters, players, actors in the game this time around. So we got the Chiefs at the Ravens. Is this looking like it's going to be a Ray Lewis deja vu moment for them and seeing them succeed? Or are the Mr. Kelsey's and KC's of that going to take them over for a ride down and twist them up? I don't know. But you want to hear it here first. I got something to tell you. What I think, what I want is not going to be, I think the Chiefs, I want to win. They're going to win. But the Ravens are going to put up a huge fight. It might be actually, I might go against my words that I think it might be a thing of the Ray Lewis coming back with their defense and them going forward and carrying on. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to give it to them this one time, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Delilah, what's your that's it? I don't know. What do you take on this game?
My that's it is Baltimore. Baltimore defense is going to actually pressure Mahomes. They've proven it in the past. It could be done. Burrows did it when he faced them in the AFC Championship. Lamar, who is the most likely candidate, MVP winner. And that defense, it's really going to go after him. So I'm going to go with Ravens because they're going off on all cylinders. And that Ravens defense, I agree, is going to be a Ray Lewis is back. They're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Kate, what do you got? Give them to us.
I don't think the Chiefs can win 2 games on the road in the playoffs. They're used to home field advantage, and they're going to Baltimore, and those fans are very much, tenacious fans for the Ravens. And I am on the side of the Harbaughs. I think John can outcoach Andy, and I think John and Mike McDaniel, their defensive coordinator, will totally shut down everything offensively that the Chiefs have to offer. I don't think Pacheco will get cooking with runs. I think they'll get a very frustrated Kelsey, and I think their defense can really pressure and sack Mahomes. Their defense is just phenomenal this year. It's just really good. So I don't think there's a hope and a prayer that the Chiefs are going to head to a Super Bowl this season, and I'm okay with that. It's time for a new regime and a new team to go to the Super Bowl for the AFC, and I am picking John Harbaugh and the Ravens, and both the Raven nevermore.
All right. He's going to do another dance, and I hope that they actually do make a song out of it to get us going, because I need one of those. I need a new one. Awesome. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions? Share them with us. Sprinkle them down into the comments and into our hearts. so we can listen to them. That is right. Yeah, it is going to be a really, really great game. Good point, Kate, with the 2 on the road. That's very valid and really good. I never thought about that. So next game we got here in the script is the NFC. Nicole's finest choice, I'm going to be telling you soon, is the Lions at the 49ers. And I kind of gave it away. I said a little bit here and a little bit there, but yes, it is true. I am getting a Lions mane sent to me in the mail so that I could cheer on those Detroit Lions and yes, break them out of the zoo, carry them and grab them and put them into the game. Let's go.
Oh, the mane.
It's the main game, that's right. Honolulu Blue for sure. Kate, I'm going with your selection. 49 or Lions all the way on the 49ers. That's right. That's what I got to say. Cole's finest choice. And Kate, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are going to have those boys so ready when they fly out to San Francisco and into that bay. And I think 49ers, the Lions devour the 49ers. And, you know, they say it tastes like chicken because we're going to make chickens out of those 49ers and we're going to prowl them and we're going to devour them and we're going to send them all home. And I really have a lot of faith and confidence that Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery will have a great running game. I think our offensive line will be iron pat to make sure that the Goff has time to get to Laporta and Reynolds and the sun god Amon-Ra. I think our defense will be ready to go. I think Hutch will be hungry for Purdy. I think they will get through that offensive line of the 49ers. I think Purdy will get sacked a few times by Mr. Hutchison. He's just ready to just eat up quarterbacks and spit them out for breakfast. I do think that we have a lot of good. Our only weakness is right now our secondary as far as like Kittle and as far as like their receivers, but kind of hoping Deebo Samuel can't go because that'll be another huge threat for our secondary. But I think if our secondary can make the proper adjustments, because Cam Sutton had a definite hard time guarding and defending against Mike Evans in that Buccaneers game. So I think if they can readjust and really know how to shut down Kittle, shut down CMC, shut down that whole 49ers offense, there's no reason the Lions cannot make it to the Super Bowl and take on the Ravens. I think this is the Lions' year to shut the haters down and shut all the people that have the smart remarks about how long it's taken them and where they've been and everything else. And we're all about grit and determination. And Dan Campbell's got that team playing so well. There's no the sky's the limit for the Lions. And they have a whole city backing them in a way that I've never seen in my life.
It's going to be a good game. I definitely think Campbell's soup. We're going to see it. We're going to see it.
You.
That's all I can think about. We're going to eat them up like that. Yummy, 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 yummy. Lions and 49ers, you guys, tell me, you guys, what your thoughts are. Because, in the comments, 30-31 tie game. Is it going to be a kick from the laces? I don't know. Awesome sauce.
Delilah, what are you thinking?
Oh, yes, Delilah.
I was just gonna let it go. It's all right. So big deal. It's fine. I'm gonna go with the Lions. only because of Skip Bayless saying Barry Sanders is overrated. So I hope his haterade that he has.
Getting a drink of haterade. Okay, I got you.
That's one of many reasons. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit. I think this is their year to get to the Super Bowl. That is all.
There we go. We're all on the same page here, you guys.
Sean Spencer, how dare you? Your fiance loves the Lions. Now be a good man and back her team.
Support. Okay, you guys, we're here at the final say. And you know who has the final say? Like Kate was saying, Sean? Ladies have the final say. We're going to run it.
But you need to like not give up and just try your best to persevere through whatever you want to reach, right? Whatever goal, whether it's short goal, long goal, whatever, just perseverance is key. And I know it's hard.
Yes. That's right. So we here at the Ladies Takeover, we like to talk about having the final say and always keeping it positive. And there's always some really great stuff that we always like to talk about here. And today we're missing you. And I'm sure we'll get to hear you again for your final say. For me personally, I've been reading again, and I've been reading Thrive, and it's basically just about, what I want to say is we're all just working our day-to-day life, and sometimes we wake up and be like, oh my goodness, it's almost February in 5 days, and where did that happen? Where did it go? Where did those years go? And we find ourselves kind of living day to day, mundane, always going here, there, and there. And what we forget is we want to thrive. We want you guys to thrive. Thriving at life is enjoying and having fun with it, and keeping that awe and wonder in what you feel for your day to day, and just the smallest little thing of having fun with it. Go for it. And just try to thrive at life instead of just surviving. And I know that is very hard, but just trying in those other little ways of not forgetting that awe and wonder as us in human beings, in that curiosity in being in life, and making it interesting, and try to make day to day a little bit more fun and interesting and different. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to say to you guys, is just try a little thrive, and try to think of thriving at like a beautiful, lush forest on your self-care and for yourself, is what I got to say. What do you have to say, Kate, for your final say?
Today, I got news that I'm going to do this without crying. I met a beautiful soul via Twitter. His name was Tom Adelsberg, and he was a huge Ohio State fan. Yes, a Wolverine became good friends on Twitter with an Ohio State fan. And this man was a beautiful man. Every day he shared, in a world where you can be anything, just be kind. And he was all about bringing different fan bases together. Like he brought Wolverines and Buckeyes together. It was beautiful. And I was looking forward to hopefully going down and meeting him in person. And I'll never get to do that because of him passing away unexpectedly. But I love the light in the radiance of that man was. I love the positivity and the absolute exuberance of just never being negative, never being, mean-spirited in our rivalry, never being cruel, never being anything but just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful human being. And he has made me think more and more, like, WWTD, what would Tom do? Or WWTS, what would Tom say? Because he never said anything mean. He was never mean spirited. He was never mean in his demeanor every day. He was just graciously nice and kind. So I'm going to try to be a kinder person because of him. I'm going to try really hard to be the light that he was to all of us. I mean, right now, his death is trending on Twitter because RIP Tom is one of the top trending things. So you know how much his life has meant to so many people that he is trending on Twitter. His death has drawn light to the community and to the world. I mean, people are writing stories about how this long-standing Buckeye fan and all of this positivity. And so just be the light, be the kindness, be Tom. Just be like Tom, because we've lost a beautiful human being and I'm just so sad about it. So my last final say is be kind and be the light and be nice to everybody, no matter if they cheer for your team or not. Try to be nice, and I'm going to try to be nicer in my rivalries and in my love of sport. So that's my final say.
Okay, I just want to give you a big hug over there. Absolutely. I mean, this guy looks like he took a page out of the Walter Payton Manning and took it to a new dimension. What a beautiful legacy to leave behind, you know. And I love to hear that from you, Kate. We wish you. I want to give you a big hug over there. I love you guys. Delilah, what do you have to say?
Love you, Kate. Miss you, Janae. I hope you're on next week. All I want to say is the Midwest is thawing. So in the Midwest, anything over 30 is balmy. Okay? Anything over 30 degrees is balmy weather. So go for your walks if you haven't been able to, because people have been just closed up, hibernating in their homes. The birds are chirping. It's a good sign that spring is coming, which is renewal. And so, yeah, East Coast, who also has been slammed by cold and snow, Midwest, Canada, we're almost there. We're in the home stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So we have something really wonderful to look forward to. So that's all. Spring is on the horizon. We're almost there. Go on your walks. Enjoy the warmer weather.
Absolutely. We're almost there for motorcycle season. Yes. Sweep season's almost upon us. Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you guys so much. I love this. This was a little bit of a first time for me, so appreciate you guys bearing with me and with it all. The wheels on the bus do go round, and we'll be back around here next week on Thursday. I believe so, with Janae, and from all of us here on the Ladies Takeover, you guys have yourself a beautiful Thursday. Take care. Peace.